You are now watching The Lone Blown. Blown! Yo, what's poppin' YouTube? Welcome back to The Lone Blown. I'm Zach Lesage, and I really appreciate y'all watching this video. So, the other day I played Coalossal VMAX in a tournament, the Funny Bunny, and I was all able to make the finals of the events. Unfortunately, I lost to ADP, but that's what happens sometimes. Right after that tournament, there was the Chill TCG special number 15 with over 350 players, and I was able to make top 16, finishing 9th place with a modified version of that Coalossal list. My girlfriend, Michelle Babin, you can check her out on Twitter at Michelle Babin TCG, is currently playing at the top 8 today at the time of this video. So we'll see how she does in the tournament. But I kind of wanted to update everyone on how Coalossal is working. I worked a lot with Gabriel Smart to bring Coalossal to where it is right now. And this video is really to showcase where the deck's at. If you're interested in that or any other Pokemon TCG content, feel free to subscribe to the channel right here. And you can always give this video a like, a thumbs up. You can check out the description for some promo codes. I mean, you can always go to PTCGO plug in code ZLesage5 to save off 5% on your next order of codes. But let's look at this Coalossal list and play some games with it, see how it goes today. So here we have the list. And again, this list is in the description, so if you want to copy and paste that into PTCGO to start playing while you watch this video, go right ahead. This list focuses on Coalossal VMAX. And you can use Eruption Shot to do an extra 90 damage for a single energy, and you can attach that energy to this Pokemon. So there's a little bit of a built-in self-acceleration, and GMAX Boulder does 240 damage as well. We have a lot of HP, so a lot of decks are not overcoming this, but the biggest appeal to this deck is that, Eternatus and Pikarom are two of the most played decks in the format right now. That being said, Coalossal does very well against those decks. So with the fighting type weakness being a glaring, obvious reason to play this deck, especially in this format, Coalossal VMAX can just take some free wins here and there. On top of that, it actually has a pretty okay ADP matchup, does well against most Welder decks, and it really only loses to Luke Metal and Decigoons. I mean, Luke Metal's a possibility to beat, Decigoon's a pretty awful matchup. You have some cool things to do in this deck. So there's Oranguru. Oranguru works really well with the Eruption Shot because you could place your energies on top of the deck in order to get that stacked Eruption Shot. This deck also plays Rotom Phone for the same reason, but you could also grab the card that you put on top of the deck with Rotom Phone with Oranguru to kind of have this deck a little bit more consistent. Plays a couple copies of Crobat, a Dedenne, I mean, very similar to most other decks. Galarian Sirfetch'd kind of works as a Dedenne-GX on this deck, where you can get energy off of a Pokemon, bring the Galarian Sirfetch'd to the active and swing for 200, doing a decent bit of damage. This is helpful in the Eternatus matchup, or just if you need to do 200 damage. It's one of those things where look at your opponent's weakness, look at the amount of HP that they have less. Meteor Smash can do a decent bit of damage. Mimikyu's a really cool card in this deck. Shadowbox stops GX Pokemon that have any damage counters on them from having their abilities. You might be like, Zach, there's literally no Zigzagoons, there's no nothing in this deck, why would you ever put a Mimikyu? Well, it's actually to beat the Pikarom matchup. So originally you'd look at Pikarom and be like, okay, Coalossal beats Pikarom, and my testing group and myself, we kind of created this new version of Pikarom that plays a couple copies of Mewtwo. So Pikarom can quickly turn themselves into a Psychic type weak deck, and they were no longer losing a Coalossal. If you ping a Mewtwo in any capacity with a Mimikyu, or with anything and have a Mimikyu in play, they can't use their ability, and they can't attack. So that means they have to attack with their fighting type weak 3 prize card Pokemon, and they just lose the game. Pikarom and Eternatus are more or less auto wins for this deck, and considering they make the most of the metagame share, that's really where this deck shines. Crushing Hammer, obviously great in the ADP matchup, obviously great against Eternatus, just shutting that deck out completely. I mean, I feel like this thing is one of those things where you beat ADP, it's good against some Welder decks. Crushing Hammer is never a bad card. We played 2 copies of Great Catcher and 2 copies of Bosss Orders because all of the support Pokemon in format, the Crobats of the world, the Dedenne-GXs of the world, are both weak to fighting, so we could just draw 2 prize cards at our free will whenever we'd like. Communication to search out because we got Evolution, Quick Ball. Rotom Phone allows us to stack our deck. We could unstack our deck with Oranguru. Switch is a staple. Chaotic Swell is great to stop a giant hearth from being played or any other stadium we don't want to see. Wondrous Lab, considering we can accelerate energies, we can use Wondrous Lab to shut out things like ADP, especially if they don't play stadiums. Lucario Melmetal, it makes the matchup slightly better, and we can always shut it off with our own Chaotic Swell. A pretty typical supporter spread of a couple Bosss, 4 Marnies, 4 Research. I mean, that's just going to get the deck rolling. A couple Air Balloons because Oranguru has 2 retreat costs. Capture Energy is a bit weird in this deck. You can't grab it with Galarian Sirfetch'd V, but you can search out Pokemon, and it's very important to search out Coalossal and Oranguru. Since this is not for fighting energies, you can put a Capture energy on there and be fine. Stone Fighting Energy makes this Pokemon even more difficult to get knocked out, and 6 Fighting seems to work completely fine. So out of the few players who played this deck, I was able to come second at the Funny Bunny. Gabe Smart was able to come top 8. Gabe, Michelle, and I all played it as well for the Chill Series events. I came 9th. Michelle is currently playing out top 8, and Gabe had a little bit of a rough go. But I'd say it's a pretty successful outing where out of the 5 times that it was played at tournaments between our group, 4 times it made top cuts, and it still has potential to win the tournament. So I'd give this deck a whirl if you like it, but let me showcase some games how it goes. I think this deck's awesome, and I currently plan on playing it for the foreseeable future until it kind of gets hated out of the formats. Okay, so our opponent's just going to call the coin flip. We won the coin flip. In this case, we want to go first. The only time that you don't really want to go first is against some Welder decks, and that's if you're just vibing out. If they're going to get out the Volcanion to kind of power up Pokemon on their first turn of the game. I mean, we're okay against like the Blacephalon or the Crucephalon deck to go first. Against Scentiscorch, we might not want to have that happen. Here, we're probably just going to actually... probably want to get the energy on our first turn if it's possible. So let's just go quick ball away this Crushing Hammer. Actually, let's take away the Air Balloon. Gonna get the Oranguru out. Just double check to see what we got going on here. You know, I feel pretty okay with this. Let's go Rotom Phone. Hopefully we can rip an energy here. See, we're getting a little bit unlucky with some of the things here. If there's anything we wanted on top of the deck, it'd probably be... I don't even know what we'd want here, to be honest. Just gonna grab a Pokemon Communication. Might be better. Put this down. I don't want to put Wondrous Lab in play now. So we're just gonna vibe out here. We're gonna pass. We missed our energy, but our opponent does have a Dedenne-GX in the active spot, so that can be 2 prize cards. Now, not entirely sure what type of deck we're going to be playing against. The deck box says something weird. If it's like me, I play a lot of these things. Maybe it's Mad Party? I don't think it would be Mad Party. Some kind of fire deck. But the fact that our opponent has double the Dedenne-GX down does not seem good for them. Okay, it's Welder Mewtwo. Got it. Let's go ahead here and just go... Crushing Hammer, try to take some of these energies away. Crushing Hammer, try to take some of these energies away. There we go. We gotta really go Marnie. I don't want to go Wondrous Lab because we want to attack with the Coalossal VMAX. I mean, again, not really the biggest, not really the best here, but let's just go for a Dedenne-GX here. We can use Mimikyu in this matchup to stop their Mewtwo from really attacking. Apparently, we're going to really struggle to find energy in this game. And apparently, Crushing Hammer is not going to be too valuable either. Let's just grab a Crobat. Let's just get the... Yeah, let's get the Crobat out there. Well, Rotom Phone, hopefully trying to get an energy. There's one of them. We're going to draw into this. Okay, we finally got a few energies. And let's go ahead and put an energy on top of our deck. We'll leave kind of everything else the way we have it. So we'll Primate Wisdom this on top of the deck. and we're able to go Eruption Shots. So that's an easy 2 prize cards on our second turn of the game. And the thing that's going to be difficult for our opponent, if they're attacking with Mewtwo this turn, I don't think they're going to be able to knock us out. We're just going to be able to get off a Mimikyu and use Eruption Shot this turn. But let's see what our opponent does with Welder. Stop their abilities right from working. They only got the 1 energy. Now, do they have Pokemon in their discard pile? They're probably looking for a Vileplume to attack with. A Vileplume GX, but if they don't find one, they might just vibe out here with those energies, realizing that we have 4 Crushing Hammers in our discard pile. We can't get the knockouts. This could be another Dedenne-GX here that we see dropped. Okay, a Crobat. I mean, if you look at the board state, we have enough kind of things in play that we can knock out their Pokemon without even having to worry about the Mewtwo in this matchup. Our opponent's already attached energies, so the most that they could ever do this game is 180. They've already played a Reset Stamp as well. I feel pretty okay about most things here. So we could either chase these down. Static Shock is just doing 30. Yeah, let's go ahead here, go Quick Ball this away. We're going to go for this. Coalossal. We're going to go Capture Energy here for a Mimikyu. And we're just going to put this on top of our deck. We don't need to really do too much. We're going to get an extra energy in play. Oh no, we would have had that. Let's go Eruption Shot, and our opponent won't be able to attack us as far as I'm concerned. Unless, of course, they're able to heal 130. They might be able to do that with like an NDDV and a Mallow and Lana, but I really just don't see it happening here. So our opponent's going to be just kind of vibing out, not being able to do anything. The Mimikyu is really just going to stop their Mewtwo in its tracks, which makes this a very good matchup. Any ability-based GX Pokemon just seems good if you ask me. So now they're going to have to get out another Mewtwo. Or they could actually attack with Miraculous Duo. Healing all damage from it. I guess that might be cool. If they're able to get another Aurora Energy and a Welder. But we'll see exactly what our opponent's going to be doing. If they're able to do that, then I'm just going to go Bosss Orders attacking, or I might just attack into this Mewtwo again. They're not getting a knockout, and that's the biggest thing that we need to kind of look at here. What are they going to do? Welder onto the Victinis. So that's going to be 2 prize cards here for 240, unless they power up something. But what we're going to do is just keep on... Oh? Are they going to just go for Miraculous Duo GX? Just doing 200? I mean, they could do that. You could also just boss up the Victini V. It's weird playing on ladder after playing in online events because you don't really know what's in your opponent's deck. So maybe our opponent will hit us for 180 with Victini. Just trying to get the Mimikyu out another turn. But I don't see our opponent getting a knockout. I don't see our opponent stopping us from getting a knockout next turn. They've already attached their energies, so... Okay, so we don't need boss, we just need to kind of get set up here. So we could just go straight for the 240. Let's start building up this one. And start trying to find ways to get that Coalossal VMAX out here. I'm actually okay with the Marnie here because our opponent's hand can't be that great. Let's actually put the Boss's Orders on top of our deck. So this is a really good strategy. So now we have Bosss on top of our deck. We're able to Marnie, so we're going to draw into the Bosss. So not only do we get the benefit of playing a supporter, we can bring up whatever we want our next turn. I don't want to go for the Wondrous Labyrinth play here because that's just going to hurt us. And I really like our hand right now. So I'm just going to go ahead here and just go G-Max Boulder for the knockouts. And I mean, we should be able to get Bosss for game next turn. If we're able to find a Coalossal VMAX. Looking through our discard pile, I mean, we should, unless I didn't see our other 2 Coalossal VMAX hiding away in our prize cards. So if our opponent is able to get a knockout in any capacity, which I think they'll be able to use their GX attack here, we should be okay. And they probably play 1 to 2 reset stamp, which means that I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a reset stamp here. Guru's at least kind of like an extra little bit. I know it doesn't matter too much, but this game is far from lost. Especially considering this Mewtwo can't really attack us after they use their GX attack, because Perfection can't copy all these cool Pokemon to the discard pile and in play. So, we'll just wait and see exactly what our opponent can do. This is definitely a cool game, cool matchup. It's definitely a way for them to heal. So we have win in hand right now, if we can get a Coalossal VMAX off the top 5 cards of our deck. How many Switch have we played? We haven't played too many Switch. Okay, so that makes things a little bit easier. Let's just use Rotom Phone. I mean, I think we should have a pretty good chance at getting the Coalossal VMAX. Now, we did get Great Catcher. Let's go Great Catcher because we might be able to just get it. Let's go Guru. Is there anything that we'd want on top of this deck? Just put that there. Let's shuffle this deck away now. So let's just go Great Catcher because there's nothing in order on top of our deck that we really want. We do have the one thing. So let's go ahead and Great Catcher this. Yeah, I don't know if I entirely played this turn out the best I possibly could have. Let's just go for it. I mean, let's see how it goes. We've used all 4 Rotom Phones, so I know we're not going to be able to get the knockout. We've played 1 Great Catcher. We could potentially get the knockout here. I am going to go ahead and just go Research here. I don't particularly like it, but it does mean that we are able to kind of attack. We have things that we could do next turn. So let's just go ahead and see if we can get lucky with Eruption Shot. If we don't get it, we don't get it. And we got it. Surprisingly, we take those games. That's insane. So here we are, another coin flip. Let's see what we're going to be doing here. We're fine to go first or second, but we do like going first. A lot of decks like to go second. So we'll see what we're playing against. Our opponent opted to go first, so it makes me wonder what they're playing. Maybe they're playing ADP. Let's see. It's not the worst hand I've ever seen. It's definitely doable. And our opponent is playing Flygon. A bit of a weird matchup, I'm sure. But let's just go ahead here and vibe out. There's a Guru. I don't want to play any kind of Stadium or anything in play. We already got enough good stuff going on here. So let's just go ahead here and pass our turn. We could always see what we're going to get next turn. So I'm just going to go Primate Wisdom. Put this on top of our deck in case our opponent plays a Marnie. And of course, I'll play down another Guru in this matchup, I think. Sometimes double Guru is very helpful. So we'll just go ahead here and pass and see what our opponent can do next turn. Now, I've played this matchup a few times against Pikarom, and I typically do pretty well against the Flygon matchup. See, our opponent did play Marnie, so I'm really glad that we did put the Quick Ball there. So at least we have access to a Dedenne or a Crobat. Now, if I'm looking up here, I'm just gonna... If you're ever unsure about what you're playing against, you can always double check what they can do. The Pokemon they play is Flygon-GX. So what we gotta watch out for here, just like Desert Hurricane, we don't have any stadiums in play. We could use Mimikyu in this matchup. I actually don't hate that. Yeah, let's just go ahead like this and research. Yes. So we are looking for that coal. I don't know if I want to put another coal down. No, let's just not put one down yet. So let's just go Primate Wisdom. We'll put this on top of the deck. Use Crushing Hammer because this only stops supporter cards. So let's just try to take away their energies. And we're going to get the knockout with Eruption Shot for 260 damage because of weakness, but we would have got it out otherwise. Bosss can be huge. We just want to start isolating their Trapinches as they kind of vibe out. We can use Great Catcher in this matchup. There's the Evolution Incense. And they're going to get out another Vibrava. So that means we may just have to vibe out with the Lily's Pokédoll in the active. A good trick when you're playing against this deck is to use Marnie against them. And the fact that they're using Marnie themselves just kind of shows that there's not much else going on here. Wondrous Lab might hurt them a little bit. But they could play the other Flygon as well. I think we just more or less want to take away their energy, if possible. Let's see what we can get with Rotom Phone here. Actually, you want to what? Let's just go ahead and swing for the 2-4. Or actually, this gives us more options. Yeah, let's just go ahead here and go for Eruption Shots. So it doesn't matter how we're getting the damage. If we attach the energy, this just kind of exchanges a card from our hands. Feel pretty good here. I don't think they're going to be able to one-shot us. I think they might be sacrificing up that Vibrava. But sometimes Coalossal just kind of gets a lot of strength going. And you can see they're just passing. They don't really have too much going on here. They could be playing the other Flygon with Labyrinth of Sand. Your opponent's active Pokemon can't retreat. We don't have a stadium in play, so we just, yeah, our opponent's going to concede. They can't really do too much here. We'll just take that win. And as you can see, Coalossal's absolutely an amazing deck. It's one of those things where we didn't even play against a Pikarom or an Eternatus, and we were able to win both games. Sure, the deck has some flaws. We got a little bit lucky against the first game in Grant, where we just naturally had the energy, but I didn't feel like we were in a losing position at all that game. So it is what it is. And it's one of those things where you can get unlucky in a favorable position and still be good, or get very lucky in a favorable position, and it doesn't mean you got lucky to win or anything like that. I think Cole has been completely undervalued, underappreciated in our format, and I hope this video helps showcase. I know it's a little bit on the shorter side, but I did show some gameplay, and I mean, it's one of those things where if you want more Cole content, let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, or if you like Coalossal, subscribe to the channel. I got a lot of great things coming up on this channel, so stay tuned for all of that. Again, thank you so much for supporting me as a content creator. Really appreciate everyone who watches these videos. I mean, it's what keeps me going. Until next time, I'll catch up with all y'all later. Have yourself a good one. Peace out. Really hope that you enjoyed watching that video. I totally enjoyed making it. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like the video, share the video with everyone that you know, and subscribe to the channel as well. Totally appreciate all the support. We got a lot of cool things happening on the channel, so stay tuned for more. Be sure to check out the social links in the description. Thanks and have yourself a great one.